Lancia Delta, 831 1979 to 1994. The first Delta, Tipo 831, was a 5-door hatchback, designed by Giorgio Giugiaro and released in 1979. Between 1980 and 1982, it was also sold in Sweden, Denmark and Norway by Saab Automobile, badged as the Saab Lancia 600 inches to replace the retired 96 model. The Delta was voted the 1980 European Car of the Year. A special Delta HF Integral version was a 4-wheel drive hot hatch with a turbocharged petrol engine. Modified versions of the HF dominated the World Rally Championship, scoring 46 victories overall and winning the Constructors' Championship a record 6 times in a row from 1987 to 1992, in addition to Drivers' Championship titles for Juha Kankkunen, 1987 and 1991, and Miki Bayesian, 1988 and 1989. The Lancia Delta S4, which the works team ran immediately prior to the HF4WD and Integral Models World Championship careers from the season-ending 1985 RAC Rally until the end of the 1986 season, while sharing the same name and appearance, was a Group B race car designed and built specifically for rallying, and was entirely different from the mass-produced consumer versions. The car that would become the Delta during its development went by the project codename Y5 Inches, was conceived as an upmarket front-wheel drive small family car positioned below the larger Beta, and offering around 4 meters in length had been absent from Lancia's lineup since the demise of the Fulvia Berlina in 1973. This platform, derived from the platform of the Fiat Ritmo, with different suspension and more welding point, for a stiffer chassis. Design was by Giorgio Giugiaro's Italo Design. Its platform put together McPherson suspension developed for the Beta with 4-cylinder, SOC engines derived from the Fiat Ritmo. The Fiat engines were revised by Lancia engineers with Weber twin-choke carburetors, new inlet manifolds, exhaust systems and electronic ignitions, changes that combine to produce 85 PS, 63 kilowatts, 84 horsepower, 10 more horsepower than the same engines did in the Ritmos. To achieve its market positioning, the Delta offered features uncommon in this segment, as fully independent suspension, rack and pinion steering, available air conditioning, an optional split folding rear seat, a height adjustable steering wheel, and a defogger. Its 3-piece body-colored bumpers made from polyester resin sheet molding compound were claimed by Lancia to be a first in the industry. The heating and ventilation were developed with help from Saab, experts in the field, who also claimed to have had a hand in the rust-proofing of the Delta. It was also thanks to Saab that the split folding rear seats were developed and the boot lid was extended all the way down to the bumper, simplifying loading and unloading. While details about the car were known since the spring, the Lancia Delta was unveiled to the public at the September 1979 Frankfurt Motor Show. At launch 3 models were offered: the base Delta 1300 4-speed, with a 1301 cc 75 PS, 55 kilowatts, engine and simplified equipment, Delta 1300 5-speed, which added more features and an overdrive 5th gear for cruising, and Delta 1500, with a 1498 cc 85 PS, 62.6 kilowatts, engine and a 5-speed gearbox. The Delta was met with a warm reception at the Frankfurt unveiling by the Italian and German press. In December it was awarded the European Car of the Year for 1980 recognition by a jury of 53 automotive journalists from 16 European countries. Sales started in October 1979, 43,000 were sold in 1980, and by the end of 1981 production had exceeded 100,000. At the beginning of 1982, as an automatic transmission option was added, the 1500 Automatica. Its 3-speed was built by Lancia in the Verona plant and was already being installed on Betas. In March the top-of-the-line 1500 LX trim level joined the lineup. It featured extended convenience equipment, metallic paint, 14-inch alloy wheels designed by Giugiaro and wool cloth upholstery in a checkered fabric specially designed by Italian fashion house Zegna. 2 months after, The trim level was extended to the 1.3-liter engine, which simultaneously increased its output to 78 PS thanks to a raised compression ratio and electronic ignition. November 1982 brought the first facelift for the Delta. The bumpers were changed from 3-piece sheet molded compound to 1-piece thermoplastic polymer. The front one was redesigned with a more prominent lower spoiler. Another aerodynamic addition was a flat body color spoiler applied to the rear part of the roof. Other changes included the deletion of the anodized fascia between the rear tail lights and a 40 kg weight reduction on all models. Inside there were new seats and, on the range-stopping model, an optional digital trip computer. Concurrently, the Delta GT 1600 was launched, the car's first sporting variant. It was powered by a 1585cc, 105 PS stock engine with Marelli Digiplex ignition, lower profile tires, retuned suspension and disc brakes on all 4 wheels completed the package. Standard equipment was the richest available and some optionals like air conditioning were exclusive to the GT. The cabin was upholstered in Zegna cloth. Outside details like a GT badge on the right side of the grille, matte black door handles and window trim distinguished it from other Deltas. As the 5-speed 1500, 4-speed 1300 and LX versions were dropped, the latter only to be reintroduced in April 1984 on the 1300 LX, with revised equipment. The range was now composed of 3 models. On March 9, 1984 the 200,000th Delta left the Chivasso factory.